Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you in your upcoming English 100 class as your instructor. I wanted to make a little video presentation to introduce myself to you because we will be working together over the next 8 weeks, and I think we should know a little bit about each other as we continue. So, again, to introduce myself, my name is Charles Ardinger. Hello. I've been working here at Coastline College since 2013, starting in the Student Success Center as a tutor and eventually moving into the role of an instructor. And I consider myself an expert in English grammar. It's one of my favorite subjects. I like to talk about English grammar, I like to think about English grammar, and I like to answer questions about English grammar. So if you have any questions of that kind, please don't hesitate to email me and ask me whatever it is you would like to know. I really enjoy answering questions. So I've introduced myself a little bit, and now I would like to show you some aspects of the site we'll be working on as we continue this English 100 class. Let's take a look at our Canvas landing page. Here is the landing page of our class website. The proportions are a little bit off because of the window in which I'm making this recording, but it will look familiar to you once you see it on your own device. I would like to point out some aspects of the class that you can see on this landing page, which will help you as we continue to work together and get you as much success as we possibly can. First, I want to point out that this landing page contains a schedule of the assignments and events in the class. So as we scroll down, you'll notice that there is a list of dates, and with each date is 1 or 2 or 3 events or assignments. This will help you as we continue because you can just look at the front page here to get an idea about what you should be doing at any particular time. In an online class, time management is especially important, and so I think this will help you as we keep going. The second thing I would like to point out is back at the top of the front page, where it says Recent Announcements. You'll find under those some announcements. These are little pieces of prose that I will write based on issues I see in class or issues of grammar that I think are important or pieces of advice I would like to give, that sort of thing. And you can read these by going to the title of the announcement, which will be a date followed by a title, and clicking on it. That will get you to a page that looks like this, on which you can read the announcement at your leisure. It will be in your best interest, I think, to read these announcements. You can pick up information about ways to write in a more academic style or examples I've seen of things we've talked about in class. So I strongly suggest that you keep checking the front page and looking at these announcements. A third thing I would like to point out is that when you do an assignment, you'll be getting a grade. Most classes you will ever take, I think, have that pattern. With the grades in this class come feedback, advice that I would like to give you so that we can communicate as teacher and student. And the way to get that is to go to this link, Grades, and click it. That will lead you to a page that looks like this, which will have a list of the assignments that you've done and that you will do. Next to the most recent assignment, the one that you want to look at a grade for, there will usually be a blue dot like this. So you want to click on the title of the assignment so that you can see some detailed information about not just your score, which in this case was pretty good, but about things that you could do to increase the strength of your writing, or things that you could do to follow the assignment's directions more precisely. So let's take a look at this assignment. So as you see, there's a page that looks like this called Submission Details that has the title of the assignment you want to look at. The first thing you might notice is that there is a box here with some text in it. Those are comments that I make. I make those comments on all of your work, giving you advice about what to do with future assignments of this kind, pointing out what I see in what you're doing, giving you my reaction as an instructor. It can, I think, help you enormously to look at these comments, and if you see anything that doesn't make sense to you, to ask me a question about that. I really want to be in as close communication with you as possible. Also, you might notice that all of the assignments have a rubric, which is a chart of, criteria to help you understand how I'm grading your paper and what I'm looking for as I make those evaluations. So in this case, if we show the rubric, we'll see that this assignment did very well in this category and this category, but did not do quite so well in this category. Looks like the writer didn't write quite enough words to fulfill a length requirement. And also pretty well in this category. So if I'm the student, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at ways that I can continue to practice in a particular direction. And as I say, there will be a rubric with each assignment. Furthermore, let's make the rubric go away. You can click this link that says View Feedback to get more direct and immediate feedback on your paper as I'm reading it. And that will come in one of two ways. So clicking the link View Feedback will get you a small version of your writing, which should be larger on your own device because this is an artificially small window I'm recording in. And you'll notice that there are annotations. This purple lettering here is an annotation. It's as if I'm writing in pen on your typed work. I'm writing between those typed lines to give you advice on how to put things in a more academic fashion, to give you advice on grammar and things like that. There is also highlighting, this pink solid space here, that leads to a highlighted comment on the margin to the right side. This is where I will make more detailed comments about things I see in your work. If I really have to highlight a sentence and explain what that means to me and how it might not mean what you want it to, I can do it in a highlighted comment. And so these are the ways of getting feedback from me on your work, which is a major way that we'll be communicating with each other through the class. Through looking at the comments, through looking at the rubric, through looking at the View Feedback link. Speaking of communicating, I'd like to point out a way in which we can communicate more directly and make the class a less impersonal and maybe a little alienating experience. Notice this link that says CCCD Zoom. Notice also, under this beautiful picture of Charles Ardinger, this line about student visiting time, which happens on Thursdays between 1830 and 2000, or between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific Time. To get to student visiting time, click this link, very hard to say, CCCD Zoom. Clicking the link gets you to a page that looks like this, where you'll see a list of upcoming meetings. To get to the student visiting time meeting, press the button that says Join, and then follow the instructions you get from Zoom. That will allow you to enter a meeting with me and whatever other number of classmates shows up. This is an informal meeting. It's not mandatory, but I think can be useful. It's a chance for us to converse. You can ask questions about what's going on in the class. You can talk about anything that's going on in your life. If you like, you can listen to me talk about what's going on in my life, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not that interesting. And we can have a chat as two people working together. I think that really helps the class a lot, and it seems to very much help a student's experience of what we do here in English 100. And finally, I'd like to point out another aspect that I've added to the class here on the home page. You'll notice, again under this lovely photograph, Under this information about the Writing Center, that you can find out more about by following this link to the Writing Center, there are links to the individual modules of the class, and there are also links to optional grammar refresher modules. These are modules that contain lectures and practice quizzes that do not count toward your final grade in the class, but can help you give yourself practice on points of grammar that you might be worried about. Right now, I have modules about sentence variety, about ways sentence variety can give you trouble, about what I call ing words, and about verb forms. But I can add new modules at any time, and in fact, I'm very interested to hear what you might have to say about a module that I should add. What kind of grammar issue do you think an automated module such as this can help you with? I'm curious to know. And with that, we seem to have taken as much look at the front page of our class as we can stand. So I will just take a moment to say thank you. Thank you very much for enrolling in this class and for making it possible. Without students, there is no reason for a class such as this, so I very much appreciate your interest and look forward to working with you. And furthermore, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention.